I'm Donnie and this is Lauren. Lauren, can you?
Hi guys, now I can hear you. Sorry. Hi.
Hello, Donnie and Lauren.
Yeah,
Donnie and Lauren.
yeah. Of course, I live in LA. Of course, the helicopter decides now it wants to circle around my apartment building.
Well, that's why I went inside as well. There was a helicopter on the beach.
Yeah.
There's like helicopters everywhere. We live in the twilight zone.
Yeah. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Charlie, I got really excited right now because you just sang to us and I thought maybe you were just going to be inspired to write a new song and go ahead and beatbox right now, for Pop Crush even. That's fine. Just brand our song for us. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it's always it's like it's like when Kanye asked Dave Chappelle to make a joke and he was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I need a new ringtone. You can just do it up for me.
Well, we both think that you are a musical genius. We're obsessed with Light Switch. We just honestly can't get enough. And, we want everyone to know who you are, what you're doing, what's going on. And we've got our finger on the pulse of making like viral content, not going to lie. All of that to say, I'm not really a shock jock by any means, but I've got to ask you a really tough burning question. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
When you think about light switches in your home, is it a clapper for you, or do you have like a dimmer, or is it like a Google like situation?
It's a whole. I wish it was as simple as just a flicky thing, but it seems to be connected to this whole room that controls the air conditioning, which controls TV, and if one wrong thing happens, your whole house doesn't have lights. So it's really special.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of science and math. We're not going to talk about that, but we are going to talk about your new album. So you have self-titled this, which I find really, really interesting. Do you feel like this is the first time that you are really putting your music out there to be vulnerable and fully yourself? Is that why the self-title?
That is part of the reason for the self-title. Every song, I put out albums, and like 2 albums in the past, where I'd say about 40% of the first album felt like me, maybe even 30. And then voice notes felt a lot like me. And now this album feels like 110%. It's my personality with some melody attached to it. And I thank TikTok for that, bringing me to that personality, because it allowed myself to just truly be myself, as corny as that sounds.
No, I love that. Do you feel like, because I feel like you're literally the king of content. Honestly, I should probably not admit this, but I have spent hours scrolling your TikTok in the middle of the night when I can't sleep. It's really creepy. Not creepy.
I don't know. I don't think it's creepy. I look at it as like I feel like I'm like teaching. I always wanted to be a teacher before I became this whatever. I think I think that in my TikTok page, in a way, is just me teaching people things, and I want to learn things constantly, whether it's how to make a weird dish. It's basically a music. I'm basically a food channel that's with no food.
You're like the smorgasbord of music, though, so I do appreciate that. And also, I saw where you signed up to teach a master class.
Yeah. That's
super cool.
That was very challenging to film that, because you have to make a song in front of like 9 people that are filming you, and you have to talk about why you're making certain creative decisions. It was challenging, but it was very rewarding at the end. You should take that class and see what kind of song you could make.
Yeah, and I'll report back, and then I expect an actual critique from you.
Okay.
With that being said, does that mean that, so when you're doing the songwriting process or the song creating process, do you like just doing it by yourself?
I do like it the best, because I get to, like, it's weird having conversations with yourself, with co-writers and talking to people. And when I made Light Switch, I came up with the idea by myself, and I just can sit with my own thoughts and think, if I had a light switch, I'd turn my brain off like this, light switch like this. And then I didn't end up using that lyric, but I kept the light switch idea. And then I just kind of constructed the beat in my head. Like, it started with the, and then I put the, and when I put the bass down, and that that's when I took the phone out and started making the TikTok. When I put the bass down, the melody kind of fell out of the sky, and the rest just wrote itself. I
How
don't know
long
if
did
I'd be able to do that with a co-writer.
How long did it take you to write Light Switch?
The chorus took like 10 seconds.
Ooh.
It's not a particularly complicated song lyrically. The complexities came in with the production and all the little isms, and like if you lose, I put up the instrumental. Just kind of a production dork, and I feel like people want to hear the instrumental, or maybe they want karaoke or whatever. You can hear all of the little noises and blips and bleeps that, in my opinion, make all of the difference when the record is said and done. But yeah, that's why the song kept getting pushed back. And I was making TikToks basically just begging people to believe me that I was still working on the song.
When can we expect this album? I'm sorry, Donnie, go ahead.
Do you think you're a perfectionist?
Yes.
Yeah.
And even being a perfectionist, it's still never perfect at the end. Like I remember when I finished Attention, I was like, okay, there's nothing more to do. And I heard it on the radio. I was like, I should have made the drums at the third chorus 1 decibel loud. I should have made that snare drum pop a little bit more. But at the end of the day, no one cares.
But you.
But me.
That matters. Yeah.
I'll write another song. Sob in my sleep alone.
What can you tell us about the album? What can we expect to see? What can we expect to hear?
You'll hear. I was pretty like quiet about my unlike in the past about my life in 2019 to 2020, and I think they were pretty groundbreaking, maturing, we'll say, years for me socially. And I never really went public about it or spoke about it. I just knew that I was going to write an album about it one day. And this album is all about what happened to me in 2019 to 2020.
That's awesome. Does Elton John approve?
Elton John, neighbor Elton John approves. He's my can you believe that? He's my next door neighbor.
Oh my gosh.
You just walk out and see him hanging out.
I don't think I live in that like gosh of a neighborhood. And I looked right next door and I was like, Elton? Like, hello. It's a horrible accent.
Are you guys gonna write together sometime? I feel like that's the patio party that I need to be a part of.
Well, we wrote we kicked his album off with our first session during the pandemic, and when he expressed that he wanted to write a song with me, I thought I was gonna have to drive to a studio. I just walked right next door and brought him over to my studio at my house, and that was pretty incredible. Working with him, writing that song with him for his Lockdown Sessions album, which he's out touring right now.
Yeah.
Do you have any other collabs on the new album that you can tell us?
There's going to be no collabs on this album. There will be. I will collaborate with other artists. I have some things in the works on non-album related things. But if I'm calling the album Charlie, it has to just be
you,
Charlie. Watch that like change tomorrow, but like that's the answer right now.
What was it like collabing with Megan Thee Stallion on the Super Bowl commercial?
She's so cool. We did it all remotely, so I didn't get to do it in the studio with her. But it was probably one of the easiest things we'd ever done. All I did was beatbox into a microphone, send it off to Frito-Lay, and they animated me as a fox. And I got to see the commercial at the Super Bowl with my mom, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you know, a good interviewer never comes unprepared, and we did some serious digging, and I discovered a gem that blew my mind.
Really?
Yes. So you were apparently signed to Ellen DeGeneres' record label
God.
at one point. Charlie, I can't. Tell me about that.
I saw her the other day.
She a neighbor too?
She actually is.
You live in a bougie neighborhood. What do you mean it's not a gotcha neighborhood?
But I saw I'm sure she'd say hello. But yeah, I was briefly signed to Interscope Records and to Ellen in 2011 for a very short amount of time.
What's something that you know about her that you don't think anybody else does, but you could share with us?
Oh, she's so much fun. She's so much fun to be around. You know, like going over, and she has a great art collection.
Wow. Okay. Well, I would have never thought about that.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to wrap up pretty shortly. I think we have like 2 minutes left, but I want to know. So you're so good at churning out content on TikTok. If you were to give advice, you love to teach people things. If you were to give advice on how to go viral on TikTok, what would you say?
tell the truth. Don't listen to the radio. Well, listen to the radio, but don't listen to the radio and think, oh, this song is number one. I have to make a song like this. You should only be making a song that feels true to you, and that's what is getting hitting the, as they say, hitting the algorithm in all the talk land, because it's the personalized content is has the flashlight on it. They want people to broadcast themselves.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. Well, when are you coming to Nashville? Because I'm in Nashville and we've got some mutual friends. When are you coming back?
I want to come back to Nashville really bad. I don't know when I'm coming back, but I'm gonna hit Arnold's. I'm gonna go to Monell's, and you got every time I'm in Nashville, there seems to be like a new skyscraper that goes up.
The state bird is the crane. We have so much construction happening.
The state bird is the crane. It is incredible. I love Nashville. We probably know a lot of the same people.
Yeah. Well, I'll pull up a chair at your Monell's night. You let me know when we're gonna go do that.
Family style dinner.
Yes, it's the best.
And
Charlie,
Don,
thank you so
you're in
much.
LA, so you're just like a hop skip away.
Yeah, but I'm not in your neighborhood. Downtown LA is my neighbor, not Elton John.
You got the best food.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many, like Bevel and all that. It's like,
Oh,
have you been to Girl and the Goat yet?
No, I
Like,
haven't.
It's like 2 minutes from my house. So good.
Yeah, you got a different type of flex.
Yeah.
You guys should go do that and then report back and let me know how it goes, and I'll book a flight.
You got some good food in Nashville too. What are you talking about?
We do. So we'll do a food tour.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for the time today, Charlie. It was great to see you.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate taking the time.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Thanks,
Bye,
Sherry.
Charlie.